So there are certain principles that we can utilize while we're working out that will help translate into a better workout routine. For example, the principle of dynamic correspondence, which is essentially the transfer effect, which states that essentially what you're doing in the gym can transfer directly into your sport or day-to-day routine. For example, if I'm focusing on golf, I'm not going to focus on lifting as much weight as possible and doing a max bench press. I'm going to focus on building my core through rotational movements and anti-lateral rotation movements within the transverse plane of motion. And if I'm trying to focus on explosive power, agility, and increasing my vertical jump, I'm not going to hold my breath underwater and focus on pool aerobics. I'm going to focus on doing exercises such as plyometrics that will help me utilize my stabilization explosive muscles to help me jump higher and shift my weight from side to side easier and focus on motor control. In addition, if I'm focusing on bodybuilding, I'm not going to stand on one leg, worry about motor control, balance, or do yoga. I'm actually going to participate in a program that's going to utilize hypertrophy training, which will enlarge skeletal muscle tissue. In the following video, I will demonstrate several exercises based on the principle of dynamic correspondence that will relate directly with the sport that we're trying to get better at. The first exercise we're going to focus on is the suitcase kettlebell deadlift. This exercise is fantastic for building core midline stability, pelvic stability, but also anti-lateral rotation, which is going to translate into a better golf swing. This exercise also helps us utilize good hip hinge mechanics and allows us to create a blueprint to pick up regular things throughout our day-to-day routine. So we're going to start with our feet just outside of hip width apart. The opposite arm is going to go out. We want to make sure we squeeze our glutes to create a neutral spine. Take a deep breath in. Keep your core tight. Make sure your chin is neutral. And then what we're going to do is, keeping the shoulder blades back and down, push the butt back until you feel a small stretch in the hamstrings. Then we're going to do a small squat and pick up the kettlebell. Make sure you squeeze the glutes at the top. Here's another fantastic exercise that strengthens the rotational component of the golf swing and the transverse plane of motion. This is the wood chop. It's going to strengthen your internal and external obliques, your shoulders, and hand and eye coordination. You want to just be sure that your elbows are not locked out, but you have a small bend in the elbows. The band is going to be under the shoulder, and you're going to follow the hands with the eyes, which is going to build some hand and eye coordination. So grab the cable, take a deep breath in before you go, and then as you chop, you're going to breathe out. So the next one in the mix is going to be the box jump. So the box jump is a fantastic plyometric exercise that's going to help my explosive jumping forces, which is going to directly lead to an increased vertical jump. Also, box jumps are a lot of fun, and it's a great way to burn some extra calories. So when we get started, we want to start into like an athletic stance, kind of like a medium squat. And then what you want to do is bring your arms behind you. We're going to jump, kind of spring up and land like a ninja. We want to make sure that when you jump, we don't want to make a lot of noise, like this. So the last exercise we have is the ladder hops. The ladder hops are going to be really good for balance, stability, proprioceptive awareness, and motor control, but it's also going to help certain sports like soccer and basketball if you have to shuffle from side to side laterally and have some explosive forces. So here we go.